Hey everybody, Troy from Country Wood Products. This is not a typical woodworking position. I don't know if you can see me, I see a shadow on the camera. The router sled is changing. The system I had set up was no good. I had put a piece of 4x8 8-ply plywood on top of my table, put the sled on top, but it still wasn't right. And I just found out that, I found out the other day, the floor is off, the tables were off, even the plywood wasn't straight. Nothing was straight. Nothing. So, what I'm doing now, I got myself this big table here from a neighboring sawmill. And what this was a huge cart for hauling stuff around at the mill yard. And I'm going to turn this big table into a new router sled. My theory is, if I get a solid, rugged base to work with, just maybe, I might have the ability to get a stable platform, a flat router sled, and at least not have anything flexing or moving while I'm trying to work. Which, embarrassingly enough, I was trying to use catering tables for my platform. Don't ask me why. It was there, and I was trying to hurry up. It was supposed to be temporary. Very temporary. Well, anyway, I gotta get grinding on this. I'm taking off any edges and flattening these corners out so that I can get a flat platform on here to work with. There were a few problems with my pre-existing setup. One of which, it was too low and it really hurt my back to work on. So, I also picked up some of these, 3 of these, to set up my mill on. So I'm not leaning, I was leaning down. Oh, that was really bad on the back. This is going to be so much nicer to run that router standing up. So much better. Well, I got those on and much time has passed. I have been checking it with a straight edge. The floor is not level, so level is an impossibility. It is sloped this way. It is down lower here than it is over there. I can do nothing about level at this time. I have a stable rack, a frame for this, a stable support, and I got lucky. These are sitting, I don't know if you'll see, there's no gap. They're sitting flush all the way except for the very end. I'm going to shim that on the end, and on here just the very last little bit. That one over there is even better. There's no gap. So I got very lucky. I got big heavy-duty boards that were flat. Flat is important. Level is not. Flat is incredibly important. So now I have to readjust my rails and my bearings because this was made for a narrower workspace. I got the sheet on. I did it off camera because I had to knock the camera over. Now you can see my issue there. This board was not flat. My tables were not flat. Now I've just checked. These are flat. So my thinking is if I screw this down to here, I should be flat. Give me a flat surface to work with. That looks good. I think I might be getting somewhere. I've been at this for hours. I've been shimming and adjusting. This looks perfectly flush. The middle looks flush. That sits flush. The next test is to see if it can handle some weight. Don't see any sag. Those beams I used are pretty strong, I think. Of course, I've got a solid metal table. Of course, the next step is going to be to put a slab on it and then check that, make sure there's no flex on the table. I can't afford to have any flex anywhere at all. Putting the rails on. Okay. Slide down. They sort of pull themselves together. Now the tricky part is putting the router on. Am I in the camera? You would think that I got two on and it'd be easy, but no, it's not the end of the story. I'm gonna get the other two on. And that'll pull everything together. Okay, we have a rotor sled again, but I don't have up and down adjustments. So for now, what I have to do is put supports under the rails as needed. But I'm using some old cedar paneling, which is really old and really dry and really straight. And that's working very well for me so far. So I'm going to go ahead and try to shim this up and get the slab on and get an idea how it's going to look. Now, we have here two issues to deal with. One, the slab is bigger than my table, and two, it's got some wobble. Now, the situation I'm facing right now, you can see I started on this earlier with my other sled and I realized I couldn't do it. This part is flat, but then it slopes down at the end, which is because the table sloped down. But this part was good. Anyway, I've got to deal with this wobble, and I'm going to have to bring a hot glue gun and secure a piece of wood, a shim on here, so that when I move this down the sled to get that last little bit on here, I'm not going to end up losing my balance. Because right now, as you can see, if this board moves after I started work the way it is, I could be way off. So I'm going to have to actually then go and shim somewhere down in here so that I have enough space to get that overhang pushed up and not lose my shim, the support I should say. So I'll have to figure out, I'll measure it somewhere along the line and shim it, but I'm going to have to bring a hot glue gun tomorrow. That'll be it for this task for this day. Well guys, it all paid off. There is no slope in here. I had to slide the board a bit I did not record, I forgot to put on video. This morning, I didn't have enough caffeine in me. I flipped this over and I hot glued a shim under here. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Yes, I did. When I got in today, I just ran through and did it. I hot glued a shim so this can't move. And then I was able to slide the board forward and backward as needed on the table. And I got a perfectly flush bottom for this slab. It works. Well, there it is. Please do like this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Let me know if you think I should try to automate this. I have experience with electronics and Arduino. Not sure how I would fasten the motors yet, but I think I could semi-automate this thing. Make my life a lot easier. Well, let me hear what you think in the comments. Talk to you all later.